Last week, I quit my job and went all in on YouTube to become the next big thing and become financially free on YouTube. Okay, so not completely true. But let me explain how starting over can become the device you need to completely set yourself free. A few months ago, I told my best friend I was starting my own YouTube channel, and their response was,
"Not another project, surely?"
And my response was, yes. And their response was,
"Oh, come on, really?"
But I did it anyway. See, I've tried 100 different business ideas, and each one in my mind was better than the last. See, I've lived many different lives, or many different careers, if that's what you want to call it, and some things have stuck and some things definitely haven't. But in order to tell you all about this, I need to take you back and tell you a little story in order to show you why sometimes starting over is something you need, and how then you can do it too. See, I wanted to be a footballer when I was a kid. It was literally all I dreamt about. I'm a huge Liverpool fan, and I literally watched every game every week with my dad growing up. But where I played football, there was a dance class, and one random day I just thought, fuck it, this will be a laugh, and I joined it. And this then led me into a career of breakdancing, beatboxing, performing in dance shows for about 8 years of my life, which of those 8 years I dedicated my life to the craft. I was training 6 days a week, I was hustling cardboard on the floor, dancing in shows, in bars, and tours all around the world. But then, one day, I literally woke up and I stopped. Did nothing. No breakdancing, no beatboxing, nothing. So this time I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I was floored. I loved to drink and a night out, so I took a gap year and I literally did nothing. Then after the year, I needed to switch it up. I was living in my dressing gown far too much. So on Freshers Week, literally on Freshers Week of my uni degree, I applied to a musical theatre course out of everything. Something that I'd never ever done before, singing especially. I'd never even sung, even on karaoke. So I completely started over with something and decided to make this my new career choice. The only thing that led me to this was because I'd already been dancing and I thought it was a natural transition. Up until this point, I remained in Blackpool, which was my safe space. I even went to uni there. I had friends, family, job, and security in safety. But I decided I had to change, and after my uni course, if I ever wanted to start over and I wanted to progress, I knew I had to change places and paths. So naturally, I moved to Egypt. I performed in shows in Egypt, and then I decided to travel the world on cruise ships performing. And all this was food, rent, and tax free. So it made me start to live comfortable again, and I was earning enough money to live comfortable. You see, all of this was very, very comfortable. I was earning enough to make a good living. I was getting my rent, food, bills, everything paid for. Even tax was free because I was living at sea. Until that comfort for me became monotonous. Anemone. Let's just say it became the same. And again, I decided to change, to start over. See, the thing is, I never want to be comfortable. Fear can keep us from change, but I want fear to drive my change. I don't want the fear of staying still, the fear of waking up knowing I've never done anything in my life. I don't want that to be the main thing that I fear. I don't want to be comfortable. The fear of the unknown is definitely scary, and I get that, and I get scared every time I try something new. So why change? And I think the answer to that is because the world does, now more than ever. We have to adapt to our surroundings, and if you don't, you will never ever succeed. Never achieve those dreams that you've always wanted to achieve. So let me tell you a story. I've had COVID 6 times. And when the world shut down, so did my career. Performing arts is all about live performances, wowing a crowd night after night, that interaction and feedback that you get instantaneously from an audience, that infectious roar from a standing ovation at the end of an evening. All gone within an instant. The world shut down. And I could have just waited for it all to blow over, sat in the house waiting for theatres to open back up. But I thought, no, why wait for that comfort? Why not face my fears and try something completely new? So I was sitting in my room one day and there was a dusty camera that I bought when traveling the world on cruise ships. And I've done a video on this before, so if you want to check that out, check this now above. Anyway, looking at that camera, I decided to apply for every social media job that I could find on the internet. 2 of them accepted, and I started as an Instagram social media marketer and also a junior producer for a tech startup in a live streaming company. Now, this is clearly something that I had never ever envisioned doing and something I realistically had no idea what I was doing. But I did it anyway. I did it to challenge myself. And this taught me all about algorithms, performing under pressure, real business pressure, finances, deadlines, and the commitment needed to start a startup. Now, my peers, my colleagues, my friends, and even my family, people said that I was throwing away everything that I'd built as a performer. But I knew in a way that this was always going to help me in some way. And it did. A long-time producer of shows heard about my venture into my tech startup and realized that I had the knack for producing. And because of this, when I returned to the performing world, when COVID let us go out for the first time, he then invited me to produce a brand new show. Again, something that I'd never ever done before. I was obviously in my element, a mix of business, adventure, performing and traveling, and producing a completely brand new show for a huge corporation. Now, I think the reason that I wanted to tell you all this is to make you believe that starting over isn't the end of the world. It isn't the end of the previous thing. It's just a shift into something new. Your career doesn't define you as a person, and it doesn't define your life, especially a creator, or in fact, a creative. And this is why it brings me full circle to this, to YouTube, and what my passion is to help creatives. My new passion is YouTube, a place where I'm building something for myself, and not just a performance, but a platform to post and to direct my own life. And just as I did performing, I'm still writing scripts, I'm still performing, just now in front of a camera, I suppose. My secret to starting again is to just reinvent yourself, fail. I failed more times than I can count, trust me. And that friend that I was talking about earlier can absolutely testify this. In fact, multiple people, my family, friends, colleagues will all laugh and tease that I've tried 1,000 different business ideas, 1,000 different YouTube channels, and I've done too many things that I probably shouldn't be doing. But I think trying new things helps you develop, not only as a person, but financially, and more importantly, emotionally. So, what do I want you to take from this? Go out there, chase your dreams, just fail 1,000 times and 1,000 times more. But if you make that one thing work, then when you've done that thing and you get to that point, you've achieved. So for me, I'm all in on YouTube, and I've built products for other creators like you because my mission is now to help creatives grow financially, but also to speed up the process of getting where they wanted to be a lot faster. I have merch available and I'm selling my products. So if you are interested, just check all the links in the description. You can get merch, you can get my LUTs, and you can get anything else in there, such as books, and there's loads of stuff. Just check it out in the description. And look, if you've got this far, let me know in the comments how I can help, or why you were scared of starting over. Let's just start that conversation. And obviously like and subscribe and all that business, but more importantly, let me know your fears and let me know how you're starting over in the comments. I'd really, really like to know. And if you're a creative watching this, fail upwards. Try YouTube and become the best content creator in your niche.